Good evening, Purple. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful week. Cement Shoes, good evening. Notifications worked. Well, it's the first time for everything. I haven't got notification yet. Nope. Still nothing. Still a minute in. We'll see if I get one. Mr. Frosty. Oh, thank God! I was about to make one post too many on Glock Talk. I haven't been on Glock Talk in a while. I'm gonna have to get back over there. Still no notification that I'm live yet. Broken Justice, good evening. Welcome. I'm glad you could join us tonight. Mel Stiller. Good evening. Will and chat notifications well tonight. That's 2 thumbs up. That's 2 for 2 if we got more. Hopefully we get more notifications. People, I'd love to see a whole bunch of people show up for this tonight. Apparator, good evening. Oh, Purple, you got 3 notifications? There you go. Purple got extra notifications. Teddy Rose, good evening. Will, you got notification too. Maybe they fixed the system. I don't know. I love the live stuff. This is where Gray and Grumps stand out. Well, I tried to make the questions tonight. They're all about killers tonight, but I tried to make them as easy as possible. They're more general knowledge questions than, people that nobody's heard of. There's some. Around and always an idiot. I'm always around an idiot. My phone just automatically starts playing you, LOL. That's cool. If TCL would go live, he'd be huge. Yeah. Has he ever done a live stream? I don't think Scott has ever done a live stream. Come to think of it, if he has, it's been an awfully long time ago. DD Parks, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. They're toying with us so we get comfortable. Watch, they won't work next week. Yeah, that seems to be the way that the system works, though. It's either it's hit or miss. So what I do, I just put it on the calendar and just a reminder every Friday. It's the same time. Love your pessimism, cement shoes. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get this party started. Get the first screen up there and get myself in my little window. Imagine if Swim had gone live. They couldn't though. That's the whole production. They had a voice guy. Yeah, it's too bad. You know what happened to Jim Can't Swim. All right, let's do back up. All right, got to get this right here. Get the errors. Killer Trivia questions to die for. Episode 223. Questions all gathered by me. The music you hear in the background is from Restream. It is copyright free audio from them. It is a playlist. Right now, we are listening to New Year and Holiday. It is a 7-hour total audio stream, but it's a free audio system. Okay, get myself my little window. And there it is. Well, in my little window. Answer number 1, John Wayne Gacy. Mr. Frosty, I have there's a question on here tonight for Gacy. All right. Question 1. If you see my community tab post, here he is again. Minneapolis, Minnesota, our dumb criminal year. Mr. Bowden is back again. Let's recap his arrests from 2022. Theft, probation violation from 2020. Assault at a bus stop where he left his anger management papers behind. Meth possession, non-compliance of court order. What was he arrested for one day after getting out recently on December 10th, 2022? Good evening, Aunt B. Was it A, meth, B, assault, or C, grand theft, or D, DUI? A, B, C, or D? CD Park is going with C. Who? Mr. Bowden. Is his name Mr. Frosty? He's made the dumb criminal trivia 4 times. Those are his arrests just in 2022. And then then we got one more. Because, well, five arrests in 1 year is not enough for this man. And that's his picture. That is his mugshot from arrest.com. Dennis Rader. Dennis Rader. Do I have any questions about Dennis Rader tonight? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I have any Dennis Rader on here tonight. But I definitely have John Wayne Gacy. I definitely got Gacy on here. He likes to keep himself criminally busy. Yeah, he's not the brightest star in the sky. You can say that. Oh, I see meth. Well, meth was one of his past ones. Meth possession. And he never completed the anger management. Non-compliance for the anger management and possession of meth was his last arrest. He got both of those arrests at the same time. Like technically, I guess you could call it once, but it's 2 charges. He's not the brightest man out there. Inner Peace! E! Watching Elvis movies. Well, good evening, Inner Peace, and welcome to tonight's trivia. Question number 1. What was he arrested for? Released on December 10th. What did he get arrested for again? He's a repeat offender. Maybe he caught for assault. Maybe. We'll find out in a minute. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. All right, question number 1. The answer is C as in cat. Grand theft. He stole his mother's 2014 Chevy Equinox. I guess it's like an SUV, but he stole his mother's car. So add auto theft to his long list of stupid violations and crimes. Auto theft, grand theft. All right, going on to question 2. Deemed no longer a threat to society and released early by mistake after serving 13 years and 31 weeks on a 25-year to life sentence, which serial killer from this list would then go on to kill at least 12 more women? They can prove and up to 17 that he hinted at he may have killed. Was it A, John Wayne Gacy, B, Ed Gein, C, Arthur Sawcross, or D, Samuel Little? With Mama's car, what a dweeb. Yeah, I bet Mama was really, really happy about that. That's one step below a PT Cruiser. Hmm. You just read an article on him? Mr. Frosty says we can eliminate A and B. So that just leaves Arthur Sawcross and Samuel Little, according to Mr. Frosty. Oh, Mountain Lion. E, Mountain Lion. All right, I'll let you guys figure this one out. We'll be right back. I'm back. All right. Question 2. Seriously thought it is C. Well, question 2, the correct answer is C as in cat. Arthur Sawcross. Police were dumbfounded at the fact that when they were investigating the death of these women, that Arthur Sawcross was out of jail. When in doubt, always go with E. All right. Little break here for a second. So I went to a church tag sale the other day, and I picked up a book. I picked up, it's called The Mountain Lion and Other Cats. It's a children's book. Original title, The Cat Family, by Dorothy Wood. This is from 1968. So I picked it up. I'm gonna read it to my son. I'm scared the living snot out of a little boy. I don't know, but The Mountain Lion and other cats. Wow. Just want to show that to you guys. Because interpees, guessed E, mountain lion. All right, back to the questions. Great find. Okay, question 3. If I can get my mouse over to the other page here. There we go. The FBI, local law enforcement initially believed this man was nothing more than the average suburban husband living a quaint life in the burbs of New Jersey. It would take an undercover ATF officer to finally catch him, though. Good at what he did, he was only tripped up because he talked about his crimes. Who is this serial killer? Is it A, Marshall Dunn, B, Richard Kalinsky, C, Richard Bergenwald, or D, Matthew Bonetti? Benetto? However you pronounce the name. You should put a picture of the front cover on a T-shirt merchant for those of us didn't know. The interpees, cement shoes. I haven't done anything with merch in probably a year. I pretty much shut down everything altogether. Used to do quite a bit of business, selling T-shirts and hats and mugs and stuff like that. But maybe after the new year. And I thought about that. Just on a shirt. E, mountain lion, and then a picture of a mountain lion. Thought about doing something like that. You really like the coffee cups you bought? Well, thank you. The more I hear about this Sawcross guy, the less I care for him. Well, yeah, he wasn't going to win any PTA award. But question 3, who was this serial killer who lived in the suburbs that they believed he was just an average man? I see guilty people shirts. Inner peace. E, Alex Cox. My main problem is the reason why I kind of gave up on the merchandise was because I was having it fulfilled by it used to be Spring Tea, and then they changed the company to Spring. I got to find somebody else that has a faster turnaround, because it could take up to 30 days to get a T-shirt from that company. I hear that they've changed, but I don't know. It's something we'll look into. I mean, the New Year's coming right around the corner here. Then I'd like to get Paul's that says that, and then there's that. If you're getting graded, my answer was whiskey. I dispute the serial killer status of this fellow. Serial killer picks out their own victim. Hitmen don't. Well, yes, I will have to agree with you on that aspect, Cement Shoes. But according to the FBI and the ATF, he's a serial killer in the fact that a serial killer doesn't necessarily have to pick out their own victim. Sometimes, when it comes to serial killers, they may have a mental illness where they believe they must kill certain people because maybe they have schizophrenia or something else where they believe that they're drawn to kill these people. And those are still serial killers. Being a hitman, would that disqualify you because someone's paying you to do it? Yeah, I guess technically it's not really the same, spirit. Bundy helped catch Sawcross, if that's true. Bundy actually helped catch Ridgway. I know that. But for what Bundy was able to teach the FBI was very important. Oh, I forgot to put myself back in my stupid window. Put myself back in my little window. Little window. There. I'm over here talking and I forgot to put myself back in my little box. Sorry. But the FBI has learned an awful lot from, not only from Bundy, but they learned, from Samuel Little, who was another serial killer, who is Samuel Little represents less than 0.5% of all serial killers ever known. And they learned an awful lot about how he was able to escape justice for so long. And because he blended into society and nobody would ever suspect him. He was always the one person that people looked at and were like, not that guy. Could be your neighbor next door. Maybe that person, not that guy. Nobody puts Will in the corner. All right. Question number 3. The correct answer is B as in boy. Richard Kolinsky, the Iceman. Yes, with the dog in the magnifying glass, armchair esque. Don't know. All right. In case it's blocked by the live and the at the top there, the question 4 says Israel Keys wasn't the brightest bulb in the box. His ultimate downfall that led to his arrest came after he killed Samantha Sammy Koenig. What was the final clue? Was it A, he left his driver's license at place he discarded her? B, he used her cell phone to call a friend and brag about what he did? C, he was the last person seen driving her car? Or D, he used her debit card at an ATM and they got a picture of him that way? What was Israel Keys' final clue that sealed his fate? What was it? I don't know, the answer to that, Mr. Frosty. Let me look it up. Active in the Rochester, New York area from 1972 to 1989. Sawcross killed most of his victims in 88 and 89 after being granted early parole. That's controversy. A food service worker, 94 Dodge Omni is what kind of car he used. Well, it doesn't say. I'm doing a quick cursory search of his Wikipedia page, which you can't exactly take as the absolute truth. A lot of people edit Wikipedia pages just to screw with historians and other people that are trying to learn the facts about cases. I'm not a serial killer. I'm not a serial killer that I remember. But I do effing myself fascinated by those marshy areas you see near highways. I mean, his Yugo got a flat. Hey, the Yugo makes a return. Well, I can understand that, Mr. Frosty. They've been a prime dumping ground along freeways for a lot of years. That and drainage ditches just off of freeways. Oh my goodness, guys! I hit the thumbs up. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Tierney Loberg, and welcome to tonight's trivia. D, I'm a bit of a Keys buff. That is, look at that picture. That's it. That's his, when after he was arrested. Currently 12. 12 thumbs up. Hopefully we get more on B. Hopefully we get more. I mean, he doesn't look like a serial killer, does he? He looks like just like an average man. That's his booking photo from when he was arrested. If you ever seen some of his other photos, like before he was arrested, he just looks like somebody who probably works in IT, or maybe in some kind of field like that. Hugo, new part of the repertoire. B as a dim bulb. All right, question 4. The correct answer is D as in dog. He used her debit card at an ATM. They didn't have a picture of what he looked like until then. But that was the final clue that helped them narrow it down into what he looked like to capture him. They got a picture from the ATM that snapped his photo as he tried to use her debit card. Come on. Question 5. How many young men and teens did this man really kill? We are looking for the confirmed number, not the number people believe he killed, or the number Wikipedia, which has been edited 39 times in the past 3 years, says. And in case you're wondering, that is Jeffrey Dahmer. What he looked like when he was arrested on the day for the murders. Was it A, 9, B, 17, C, 20, or D, 31? Yeah, well, he was. I think he was driving her car, wasn't he? But the picture at the ATM is he looked right at the camera. I've seen the photo of it. Oh my God. Which 0? L. Bieber. Ferber. Good evening, Lady Justice. Welcome as well. Welcome to trivia. I hope you both had a wonderful week. B as in bad boy. The logo for Keys Construction is actually great. Are they? Keys Construction is the same as the Keys family. That Israel Keys is part of. I don't know that. I know there's there's several different prominent Keys families across the United States, but I don't know which one he belongs to, or which one is his family, his ancestry, his ancestral line. Did he supposedly not wear his glasses in court? Dahmer? Are you asking about Dahmer? I'm not familiar with the question, Aunt B, about who didn't wear the glasses. I know the glasses that he got later on were prison issue glasses, which are not exactly the most stylish glasses. How many young men and teens did this man actually kill? Jeffrey Dahmer. Question number 5. All right. How many young men and teens did this man really kill? We are looking for the confirmed number, not the number that people believe he killed, or the number Wikipedia has had, which has been edited 39 times in the last 3 years. The correct answer is B as in boy, 17 times. He killed 17 young men and teens. Now they believe, I mean, it's a guess, but they believe that there may have been as high as 21, but it's never been confirmed. He's had his own business. Besides killing people and torturing them, because I guess that's a full-time job. All right, question 6. Who doesn't love a good Ed Kemper American serial killer question? What has always been Ed Kemper's go-to hobby? It is yes, he has done audiobooks. That was a job, not a hobby. It was his go-to hobby always. Painting pictures of clowns. B, singing. C, poetry. Or D, writing poems. What is Ed Kemper's go-to hobby? So did Gacy and co-op. Yeah, Gacy owned construction business, remodeling, handyman service, janitorial business. He owned a lot of businesses over his lifetime. D. I always love seeing you. Good evening, Gene. And welcome to tonight's trivia, Gene. Glad you could be here with us. E, knitting. Knitting. I don't think they'd be allowed knitting needles in prison or in the sanitarium. How many did he just drill a hole in their head? Oh, when he was trying, Mr. Frosty, when he was talking about when he was trying to make a zombie, and he poured acid into the victim's brain. I don't know. I think he tried it once. Mel Stiller is going with D, writing poems. Purple is going with A, painting pictures of clowns. And this is Ed Kemper's booking photo. Okay, obviously, when he was sent off to the state hospital after killing his grandparents. E, painting pictures of clowns while singing and reciting poems and writing poetry. D for dilly dally. Mr. Frosty's going C or D. Gene is going with C. Now D. It looks like Purple's going with all the above. He looks weird without the barbershop quartet mustache. Yeah, he does. I mean, he's put on a lot of weight, you know, and facial hair, definitely, you know, from being a young man when he killed his grandparents. What is Ed Kemper's go-to hobby in the state mental hospital sanitarium? Yes, Will for the win. I got a feeling you're going to be right, Purple, because you included all four of the options in that: singing, and writing poems, reciting poetry, while painting clowns, while doing pottery. I guess. I mean, pottery would be fun to learn. I've never taken up pottery or you know any type of ceramics. I mean, I did a little bit here and there in high school, you know, in art class. But I mean, what did everybody make, you know, in pottery class? We either made vases or we made ashtrays, you know, or maybe like little people, stick figure people. I have to keep the feet busy. Ed Kemper. I find Ed to be one of the more curious. I'm more curious about his, you know, who he is as an individual. I mean, I know a lot about his crimes, but I always wondered what's ticking behind the you know the story of his crimes. How did he really feel? What really motivated him to do the things that he did? Not just killing of his family members, but what made him motivated and what was he really thinking when he went out and he killed the first young, you know, co-ed. That's right, pottery. He made ashtrays. All right, question 6. What is Ed Kemper's go to hobby? The correct answer is C, as in cat, pottery. He's made a lot of different things. He's made plates. He's made cups. He's made plaques, and he's written, you know, and different poems and different things on them. But a lot of times he just glazes them. They fire him for him, and he, you know, he writes his name on the back of them, and he gifts them to other, you know, therapists and other people from inside the sanitarium, and but that's always been his go-to, you know, thing. He he doesn't complete a lot of work. He just keeps on remaking it over and over again. But pottery. But I can't imagine allowing a 6'9" serial killer near a kiln. No, they don't allow the patients near the kiln. They make the pottery, and then after all the patients have left, you know, they take the stuff and they actually fire it separately away from them. I saw this one on who's been picked up by their head twice. My 51 years. Well, Kemper's not in prison. He's in a state sanitarium. He's insane. All right, question 7. Here's your John Wayne Gacy question for the day, ladies and gentlemen. True or false? Before managing a KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, John Wayne Gacy managed a Burger Chef. That's a restaurant chain. I don't know if it's still around. Across the street from the KFC, he would eventually manage. True or false? B's going with true. What the fuck? Sorry. My computer's being stupid. All right. To give you guys more information on Ed Kemper, he has been incarcerated at the California Medical Facility at Vacaville, where he is and will reside for the rest of his life. He is not in prison. He is insane. For his example, after killing his grandparents and went to murder on 8 people. Dr. Albert Rucci, the hospital's acting director, it's been there is no psychiatric medication that will be able to ever cure Mr. Kemper of his desire to want to kill. He is considered criminally insane and will never be cured. Kemper's IQ was tested at 145, approximately. It would have come out to a 145, but he never completed the last portion of the IQ test, refusing to do so because he said it was boring. Mr. Frosty, false, pure guess. I give it a 50% chance. That is true. You got a 50% chance. Crispy chicken for his last meal. Yes, he did. KFC. He ate KFC, strawberries, and I think he had like a soft drink or something to go with it. But yeah, a lot of chicken and strawberries. That was his favorite meal. You got tired of burgers? I don't know if I should look that up, see if Burger Chef restaurants are still around. I don't think they are. They used to be everywhere, at least when I was a kid. No. All right, the Corporation of Burger Chefs closed their last franchise restaurant in 1996. Those that are remain and use the name Burger Chef are independently owned and operated. They pay a licensing for the name. I'll let you all in on a movie idea I had. What's that, Mr. Frosty? All right, question 7. True or false? Before managing the KFC, John Wayne Gacy managed a Burger Chef across the street from the KFC he would manage eventually. The answer is true. He managed the Burger Chef restaurant, left, and started a cleaning business before he went back. It would eventually end up managing the KFC restaurant. Where that Burger Chef restaurant is now it was torn down, is now a used car lot. The KFC he worked at is since been taken down as well. But what a waste of a great mind. It's called Protocol 51. It's a secret protocol only known to state governments and prison wardens. Oh, sounds like an interesting idea for a movie, Mr. Frosty. But Question 7 is true. A, he did manage a burger chef restaurant across the street where he would eventually work as manager of a KFC. Question 8. Stop crying. If you keep it up, I'm going to cry. You don't want that, do you? It will be over soon enough. This was said by two who. This was said by who to multiple victims. I can actually read. I swear to God I can. This was said by who to multiple victims. Two actually survived. Was this A, John Wayne Gacy, B, Dennis Rader, C, Dennis Ridgway, or D, Robert Pickton? Now we know where Josh worked at the used car dealership that got torn down. It involves certain prisoners that need to be killed in case of extreme natural disasters. It sounds interesting, Mr. Frosty. Are you gonna write a script for it? You never know. You never know if you write a script out for it. You never know. Maybe somebody will want to make it. Kemper is a waste of a great mind. Cement Juice is going with E. Josh Duggar. Stop crying. If you keep it up, I'm going to cry. You don't want that, do you? Who said this to multiple victims? To Jared Lysick. Basically, a star chamber meets earthquake. I mean, I like the premise of it, Mr. Frosty. Sounds like an interesting idea. Shoes. I can hear Josh saying it. D. Pickton from Vancouver, Canada. The gruesome twosome, Duggar and Lysick. Stop crying. If you keep it up, I'm going to cry. You don't want that, do you? It'll be over soon enough. This was said by who to multiple victims. Two actually survived. Question 8. They should, but meant to bunk together. I say we lock them together, and like a battle royale, and see who comes out, standing. Lysick or good old Joshy Poo. If you want someone else to write it, then you'll sue. Well, first thing you need to do, Mr. Frosty, if that's your idea, and you want to sue somebody, is memorialize it somewhere. Start a blog page or something, write it all out in a blog page, and then memorialize it that way. So anything that happens going forward, or somebody writes it out, then, but you have to write out the whole entire premise of it. So then you can sue. But memorialize it. That's the first thing. Memorializing it here isn't going to help you. There's no guarantee that I'm going to keep the stream. I've deleted more of them than I've kept. Chain your legs together and throw them in a box with jellyfish swimming. Oh my God. Might be on top. All right, question 8. Stop crying. If you keep it up, I'm going to cry, and you don't want that, do you? It'll be over soon enough. This was said by who to multiple victims to actually survive? The correct answer to question 8 is D as in dog, Robert Pickton. That's the photo of Robert Pickton, says Mel. And it is. You're all witnesses. All right. I forget more than I remember, Mr. Frosty. That's just it's like I was talking to my wife today, and all of a sudden just blah, I just start letting go of like all that information in my head. I got to clear it out somehow. Start talking about Samuel Little, serial killers, Ted Bundy, and then it kind of went off into a tangent about children of of serial killers that are out there. I got way too much information about killers in my head. I got to get rid of it somehow. So now it's in her head. Question 9. Dennis Rader had plenty of different jobs in his lifetime. What was, however, his proud moment, work-related, that brought him plenty of work that was based on the fear of him? Was it A, an ADT alarm installer, B, a psychic, C, a private security, or D, a radio DJ? Great news. The missing U.S. college student was found in Spain. It is good news. Thank you for sharing that, Aunt B. Aunt B's going with A, an ADT alarm installer. Some shoes as well. Dennis Rader. I didn't know I had a question on here for Dennis Rader, but apparently I did. Had plenty of different jobs in his lifetime. A for D.D. Parks as well. Al Berber is going with C. I can't think of his name. Just happy he's okay. Ken DeLand, something like that. There's a lot of good stories that are out there. They just don't make it on the news as often. They should be rounded up. Could you imagine Dennis Rader as a psychic? Huh? Huh? I see murder coming in your future. Private security. I'll protect you from the BTK killer. Samantha Muster McDowell, you're late. That's okay, sweetheart. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a wonderful week. Dennis Rader had plenty of different jobs in his lifetime. What was, however, his one proud moment, work-related, that brought him plenty of work that was based on the fear of him? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he got tripped up by his own foolishness there, though. BTK. Bind, torture, kill. He thought he was smart. That is true. He definitely thought he was above the law and thought he was smarter than everybody. Josh Duggar gets a feast for his holiday peanut butter sandwich in a movie. Let's see. I can tell you right now, purple shoes, not purple shoes, purple. What exactly Josh Duggar will be eating for Christmas? All right, so that would be the 25th. All right, for breakfast on Christmas morning, he will have a hot oatmeal, whole wheat toast with 2 jelly packets, a margarine a pat of actual butter, margarine, skim milk, and chopped fruit mix. That's what he's having for breakfast on Christmas morning. Lunch is a peanut butter sandwich. You're absolutely correct there. Baked tater tots and beverage and fruit and mixed vegetable for lunch. Dinner is shredded chicken with a hummus wrap, what it says, potato salad, green beans, whole wheat bread, and beverage to be named. So it's a beverage to be named. It could be anything. It could be orange juice or watered down Kool-Aid or whatever it is. But that's what he'll be getting on Christmas. I have the entire menu. You can't see it, but this is the menu for Seago Penitentiary. They change it every 3 years. So 2018 carried into 2017 carried into 2020, and then 2020 goes to 2023. Beverage is probably diluted fruit cocktail syrup. Could be. Have you heard of jail or prison loaf? Oh, Aunt B, you're referring to Nutra loaf. Yes, Nutraloaf. It's a calorie supplement. It was never meant to be eaten by itself, but a lot of places will serve it on bread, and it's pretty disgusting by what inmates say. Did you know at Seagoville Penitentiary, where Josh Duggar is, an inmate there at the federal penitentiary can spend up to $360 a month in just commissary. That's the maximum. That's for everything. That's your phone usage, the per word tablet for sending emails, commissary, everything. His inmate number is 42501-509, in case anybody wants to write Josh Duggar. Again, his prison inmate number is 42501-509. So now you have Josh Duggar's name and his inmate numbers. You can feel free to write to him. The facility is required to provide a basic food. They put all your food in a blender and bake it. It forms a form of punishment. They can do whatever they want. There's a lot of things that they, horror stories for prison food. molded food, expired food being served in the penitentiary. It's like you said, it's basic food, and if you can even call it that. All right, question 9. The answer is A as in apple. He was an ADT, alarm installer, and he was doing brisk business. But once people became in fear of bind, torture, kill, BTK killer, the business for alarm systems went up exponentially, and he actually installed the alarms at some of the people he would eventually kill. So we lost track of Chris Watts, is what you're saying. Nope. I know exactly where he is, and every 2 months I request a copy of his visitor form to see who's actually still visiting Christopher Watts. And the only people that are visiting him are clergy and someone else who I cannot really say who is what the relationship is, but he does get visitors at Dodge Correction Center. Question 10. What type of clothing or accessory did Ted Bundy say he always found sexy on women and young girls? Sorry, it's factual, so I had to put it in there. Is it A, a short skirt, short skirts, B, a sundress, C, heels, or D, a scarf in their hair? What did Ted Bundy find sexy on women and young girls? Maybe it's just me, but won't waste pen and ink on Josh Duggar. Baked in a loaf pan, neutral loaf. Breakfast. Well, I always try to attend your Friday Night Trivia. Not only do I learn, you and the regulars make it a lot of fun. Well, thank you. Gayla Jensen, good evening. Hello, Will. Just checking in. How's things? Things are good, Gayla. I hope they're good with you and your hubby down there in California. I hope everything's going as well as it can. Thank you for joining us tonight. What type of clothing or accessory did Ted Bundy say he always found sexy on women and young girls? Eddie Rose is going with D. Berber is going with C, heels. Ted Bundy. Question 10. Question 10 for the Ted Man. What did Ted Bundy? What a sick son of a bitch. I was talking to my wife about the children of serial killers. And he came up, his daughter. She wasn't aware that so many serial killers have actually had children. Currently, 17 out of 20. That's good. That's good. I'm glad we're getting some thumbs up tonight. Thank you. Ted Bundy. He doesn't look as creepy there as he did, when he was in court, trying to act creepy and smiling at them. Well, it's good. My birthday is Sunday weekend, and I'm getting spoiled. Oh, well, happy birthday, Gayla. I hope you have a wonderful day. What did Ted Bundy like on women and young girls? Wait, I think C should be heels. Yeah. If 8 had to guess, Ted is a guy that doesn't look like what I think a serial killer looks like. I think it's a lot of people on B. We kind of build up a like a stereotypical image of what we think a serial killer would look like. It's always that that creepy guy who you see in the shadows or stares at people from across the room, and you kind of put together a composite image of what you think a serial killer looks like. Or maybe the image that you have in your head is like an image of an individual like an Ed Gein, or someone like that, as a serial killer. But typically though, when it comes to serial killers, they are part of society. They're there, and they say in your lifetime, if you live until your 80s, you'll have walked past at least one in your lifetime on a sidewalk somewhere and never even know it. They just look like the average person walking down the sidewalk because that's how they get away with it. It's just blending in and looking like everybody else. They don't want to stand out. Bundy is pushing up daisies. Yes, he is. He is definitely pushing up at daisies. Well, we actually don't know. But I get the point, Gayla. He was cremated, and he had his ashes were spread in the Cascade Mountains somewhere, but we don't know exactly where in the Cascade. I have crossed Bundy's path and Ridgway's path. Wow. Number one occupation of serial killers is security guards. Number one occupation of psychopath is C, executives. Well, they do say that in order to become a CEO or someone higher in management, business management, you have to be somewhat of a sociopath to do to get that far in your career. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've learned. All right, question 10. Excuse me. The answer is B as in boy, sundress. He loved sundresses. Apparently, that's some type of dress. I am not a fashionista, so I couldn't describe what a sundress is. But he loved sundresses. Reminds me, you have to buy me a couple of lottery tickets because you are lucky. All right, question 11. Is a dress you wear out in the sun? Thank you. Thank you. I never would have guessed that one. All right, question 11. In just the month of December of 2022, how many cold cases of murder have been solved using the newest technologies in DNA and family DNA submitted willingly by the public? Before you ask, no, none of these cases have officially been closed or conviction secured yet. They now know who did it and thusly solved the case. A short dress with spaghetti straps. How many cold cases of murder have been solved in just the month of December of 2022? Is it A, 5, B, 25, C, 8, or D, 105? Dee Parks is going with C. In what country? The United States of America. Sorry, I should have put that in there. Purple's going with B. Cement Shoes is going with C. What man doesn't? What man doesn't what? Genealogists are helping lots. Yeah, with the familial DNA, the family DNA submitted willingly to. What a lot of people don't realize is whenever you do one of those at-home DNA test kits, you know, either through Ancestry or 23andMe, those are the two biggest ones. But part of the agreement that you're signing when you submit that, you know, for DNA analysis, is that they can share and sell your data. Every one of them do it. Even the family DNA with the Ancestry.com. They collect it, they store it, they catalog it, and then they sell the information, just like 23andMe and everybody else. They can't make money on just collecting your money for doing the DNA. It's not feasible at all. Mr. Frosty, 24. Well, we have a 25 on the list. B is 25. Samantha Mr. McDowell is going with 105. Gayla is going with C. Carrie, good evening, Carrie, and welcome to tonight's trivia. Carrie is guessing. I lost it. It went by. Come back here. Come back here. I was going to read Carrie's guess. Samantha Mr. McDowell is going with 108. That's 105, but okay. Carrie is guessing 25. B. Thank you, Will. I will not be doing 23andMe. I've done it. I've done it. My wife has done it. My daughter's done it. I don't know, you know, really why my daughter wanted to do it, since both of us had done it. But she wanted to do it anyways. That's how they caught the Golden State Killer, Joseph D'Angelo of Sacramento. Yeah. That's a hard one to answer. How many cold cases of murder? Marie York is going to say 5. And welcome to tonight's trivia, Marie York. Glad you could be here with us. My brother did it, and we found lots of family people in the area that we didn't know we had. Wow, I guess that's nice. Micro DNA reading was made possible first in Scotland. Huh. I did not know that, Samantha. Hi, says Marie York. Everyone, welcome Marie York to trivia. How many cold cases of murder have been solved in just the month of December of 2022? Louise, good evening, Louise. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Louise. I hope you had a wonderful week. My daughter is a genealogist in West Seattle, and she forced me to take the 23andMe DNA test. It was life-changing, and what? You left me hanging there, Carrie. It's snowing in Michigan. Oh. It's not snowing here where I am, and I'm thankful for that. Hunter Harrington, good evening, Hunter. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I found out something that changed my life. Well, I hope it changed your life for the positive, Carrie. I really hope it changed it for the positive. Mel Stiller is going with B, 25. There's more you can find out than just your family, genealogy, through, one of those 23andMe or, DNA testing. You can also find out if you're predisposed to other, certain medical conditions as well. A lot of things you can learn from it. I mean, there's like a small fraction of DNA that, that came up on our ancestry that we didn't know about. We're hanging around freezing point here in Character Burger, I guess. Right now, where I'm sitting, it is a blistering 26 degrees and partly cloudy. We're not expecting any snow until Wednesday. They're calling for snow Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. Changed my life for the positive, for sure. Well, that's good, Carrie. All right, question 11. In the month of December 2022, how many cold cases of murder have been solved with using the newest technology in DNA and family DNA submitted willingly by the public? The answer to question 11 is B as in boy, 25. There have been 3 cold cases solved in just the last week. I'm honestly too scared to do the DNA test. I'm related to people who will want to converse with me, so I don't do it. People sad. Well, I understand that to a point, Samantha. I got people, in my family I don't want to talk to. Hell, I don't know. Maybe they're murderers for all I know, but still. I just read and heard this number last week. All right, next, where is it? Question 12. Well, first, I hope you're having fun. If you are, please like, share, and tell others. Tell others. Give it a thumbs up. All right. So what? Where the hell did the question go? Well, guys, you guys want to guess just the answer? I hold on a second. Hello, everyone. I got to figure out what the hell happened here. The question is gone, but only the answers are there. Huh. That's odd. Well, we'll have to skip it. I'll throw in a bonus question from one of the other ones I have done. I'd be interested if they could tell me what I did as a caveman. I don't know. What did you do as a caveman there, Mr. Frosty? All right. Well, we're skipping question 12 and going to question number 13. And then at the end of it, I'll throw in an extra one. Because I don't know what happened to the actual question. It vanished. And the only thing that's there are the answers. So, put myself in my little window. Question 13. Streets of West Philly, that's Philadelphia, are a little safer tonight. This question comes from 2010. Shorty Sanchez has been arrested in New York. Excuse me. Police believe he is responsible for how many drive-by shootings within the city in the past 2 years? Was it A, 10, B, 13? Why is it doing this? It keeps on going back to the other way. All right. With the city in the past years, is it A, 10, B, 13, C, 18? or D9? Jennifer Hill, good evening. Rackart, guys, just joining in. I've been stuck at the truck stop here in Vivian, South Dakota, with the snowstorm, blizzard, ice storm since Tuesday. I was showering and just returned back to my truck. Well, I'm glad you're staying safe, Reichart. I'm sorry you're stuck there, though. Question 13. Streets of West Philadelphia are a little safer tonight. Shorty Sanchez has been arrested in New York City. Police believe he is responsible for how many drive-by shootings? 10, 13, 18, or 9? Mr. Frosty, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Gonna have to find a bonus question because the other question is gone. I'll put myself back in my little window in a minute here as soon as I find another question. Don't have my notes for that one in here. Well, so that stuff is Josh Duggar. The streets of Philadelphia are a little safer tonight. Rackart, coffee. Hunter Harrington, Nez, Starfire. Hello, Samantha. B for purple. When I hear Philadelphia, I automatically think of drilling teeth. Ouch. Cigarettes and coffee. I'm guessing D, hope, wishing the lesser of the four. PPP. 9 for 9 mil. Glock 9. Why? If you want to say. The streets of West Philadelphia are a little safer tonight. Shorty Sanchez has been arrested in New York City. Police believe he is responsible for how many drive-by shootings within the city in the past 2 years. How many? Question 13. The answer is B as in boy. 13 drive-by shootings from 20. This question came from 2010, so 12 years ago. That boy was shooting up the city of West Philadelphia. 9 mils. I gotta think this has to be 99% drive-by. But the answer was B as in boy. 13. Fresh Prince. Was he from Philadelphia? Where some boys were starting some trouble on the basketball court? Good evening, Starfire. Ever heard of a 30-30 drive-by? No. No, I can't say. 30-06? Either. Where did you go, Will? I'll be back in the screen in just a minute, Purple. They kept on closing the question and putting my picture in the big form. There we go. I'm back in the corner. I'm back in my corner. All right, question 14. Did you know I do a live show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m.? Did you? Question 14. On the lighter side of crime, what was Dennis Ridgway's favorite food to eat when he just wanted to relax? Was it A, grilled cheese sandwich, B, a burger with everything on it, C, a plain cheese sandwich, or D, a garden green salad with ranch dressing? When you realize you might watch too much crime. 22 drive-by. 22 is the preferred caliber of ammunition by hitmen. 22. E, Denny's. A grilled cheese sandwich. C, a plain cheese sandwich. Marie York, cheese sandwich, yummy face. Edie Park's going with grilled cheese as well. Lighter side of crime. What is Dennis Ridgway's favorite food to eat when he just wanted to relax? E for sure. A cheeser. Yeah, I noticed that. Gary Ridgway, it says Dennis, but we all know who he is. F the Truckee Way. Thank you for joining us. F the Truckee Way. I hope you had a wonderful week. Thank you for joining us. And your guess is a grilled cheese sandwich. And yes, everybody, it should say Gary Ridgway, not Dennis. He doesn't look like a happy man in this photo. I wonder if that's because he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. I'm going with A, grilled cheese sandwich, says Mel. Hi. Creepy eyes. Well, Gary. But Gary, Dennis, whatever. On the lighter side, Dennis, Gary Ridgway. Shouldn't be Dennis. It should be Gary. Favorite food to eat when he just wanted to relax. Oh, I'm awake, Gayla. I just didn't catch that, until I even read the question and I said, and I didn't notice it. Then I was like, wait a minute, you're right. Gary says chandelier. Purple going with C, a plain cheese sandwich. All right, question 14. The answer is C as in cat, a plain cheese sandwich. No butter, no mayo, just 2 slices of bread and a slice or 2 of cheese inside of the sandwich. That is as plain as you can possibly make it, and that's what he liked to sit down and eat when he just wanted to relax. A plain cheese sandwich. Question 15. Isn't food interesting? How many serial killers or killers do you think loved hard candy? Those who have said they love them are some of the following: Ed Kemper, Ted Bundy, Ted Kaczynski, Harold Shipman, Pedro Lopez, and Jeffrey Dahmer. How many serial killers or killers loved hard candy? Is it 20 out of the last 30 caught? A. B. 10 out of the last 30 caught? C. 6 out of the last 30 caught? Or D. 30 out of the last 30 caught? We should. It. Give me a minute, and I'll get you the answer to what kind of cheese. I actually have it saved in my notes on my computer here. Got to open up my cloud. He preferred either provolone or cheddar cheese and just plain bread. Doesn't say if it was white bread or wheat bread, just plain bread. No butter, no mayo, nothing on it at all. Just bread and cheese. So provolone or cheddar. In Hollywood movies, mobsters always suck on lollipops to intimidate. Better than American cheese, I guess. Yeah, most American cheese doesn't even really qualify as cheese. I mean, I think Kraft does barely with their Kraft single because it puts enough milk in it. But most of the stuff that's sold in stores is just pure garbage. It's just chemicals. My son loves the stuff. That's the only way I know about it because he likes to eat it just like take the plastic off it, and he likes to eat it as a snack with apples. So I take an apple and I cut it up and I core it, take the seeds and stuff out of it. And he likes to take the cheese, like American cheese, and wrap it around the apple and eat it. Boiled sweets, they say across the pond. 15. Isn't food interesting? How many serial killers or killers do you think loved hard candy? And these sardines are delicious. I like sardines, but nobody in my family does. I like them on a real pizza pie. But a real pizza pie, has it's nothing like like Pizza Hut. Let's just say that. That stuff is an abomination to what pizza is. Robert De Niro, hey, is my guess because not 100% has, but has to be more than half. Using deductive reasoning, what Aunt B's doing. Sal. Good evening, Sal Singleton. I'm guessing A. I didn't see you there at first. You're a very good daddy. Well, thank you, Jennifer. I do my best, but we all make mistakes. That's all we can really do in this life, raising children, is try to mitigate the mistakes that we make and do the best we can. Because God knows none of them come with manuals on what to do and how to raise them. Diana Bowman, good evening. And Diana is going with C. How many serial killers or killers loved hard candy? Out of those six that it gives us an example, I knew Kemper and I knew Kaczynski, the Unabomber. I knew both of them loved hard candy, but I didn't know about the rest of them. Lori Vallow loves Jolly Rancher lipstick. Only they learn from them, it's all good. Yeah, that's true. Skittles and M&Ms too. I'm not much of a sweets fan. Never have been. Yeah, I used to love when I was younger, I used to love those Reese's Pieces, the ones that are like the size of a Skittle. Willy Wonka. All right, question 15. The correct answer for question 15 is A as in apple. 20 out of 30. Using deductive reasoning, some people got it. A as in apple. 20 out of 30 of the last serial killers and killers that were caught loved hard candy. I'm not either, Will. I just can't. Okay, well, that's the questions for the trivia for tonight. But we got a bonus because the one question was voided because it wasn't there. The question was gone, but the answers were there. So here is the makeup question. I can't put it on screen because I don't have it on a slide. So this is a question for you, bonus question. What was the name of the family featured in Truman Capote's book In Cold Blood? Was it A, the Johnsons, B, the Williams family, C, the Davenport family, or D, the Cutters? Tard candies? Jennifer, you don't have much of a sweet tooth either? As lipstick? Well, that's like an inmate thing, using Jolly Ranchers and they use like the glossy stuff on magazines for eyeshadow. D is your guess, Ricard? What was the name of the family featured in Truman Capote's book In Cold Blood? Was it A, the Johnsons, B, the Williams, C, the Davenport, or D, Cutter? Wow, Cutter family hit the wrong key the first time. I'll guess A, says Jennifer. I'll be E. No clue. I have no clue. Don't know. Never read the book. Bronas. D. Clutter, not cutter. Did I say Cutter? Well, I did. Sorry. D. E. Jabba the Hutt. What's the name of the family featured in Truman Capote's book in Cold Blood? When was this question? These are questions that I've asked before. When I got notebooks filled full of these questions. Some of them we've done, some of them we haven't. This is from May 30th of 2021. We did these then. Cooking dinner is interrupting this. Oh, I'm sorry. It glistens like Christmas snow. Can I see the choices, please? The choices are, Sal, what was the name of the family featured in Truman Capote's book in Cold Blood? A. Johnson, B. Williams, C. Davenport, or D. Clutter? What are the choice? Those are the choices. I can't show them to you, obviously, because it's got the answer written right next to it. Technical difficulties? Yeah. I'll show you. I'll show you what happened. That's the question. The question is gone for the one that was supposed to be there. But all he has is just the answers, the possible answers: tour bus driver, taxi driver, chef, or roofer. But the question, for some reason, is gone. Don't know. So I have these spiral notebooks that are filled full of trivia questions, so I just grabbed one. A free way to support this channel. I blame the Russians. My grandma knew the Clutters. She used to go dancing with Mr. Clutter. Huh. I did not know that. Well, that's good to know. Still don't think it was the Russians, though. Hunter is going to go with A. B. D? I don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Will, for your time this evening. Always happy to see you. Stay safe and warm out there. Well, thank you, Jennifer. You as well. I'm getting a warning on here. The temperature has dropped. And it has a little picture of a thermometer, and it says temperature dropped. When we start earlier, it was 26 degrees. It's now currently 23 degrees. They seemed like they were very decent people. Well, for the makeup question, the answer is D as in dog, the Clutter family. You guys want another one? I got a whole bunch. This whole notebook that, I mean, it's just filled full of questions. Some of these I've asked, and some of them I haven't asked. See if I can find one of the trivias on here that I mean, some of these trivia nights, I wrote out 30 questions. Like some of them there's only 6. To rock everyone in town. I'm ready for another. Probably going to try my own show at some point. Working for the man or whatnot. Do it, Mr. Frosty. See, I'm just looking to see if there's one of these that are marked that haven't been done. I got one here for state trivia that's never been done. This one's never been done. It's only got 11 questions. Serial killer trivia. This one hasn't been done either. Here's a question for you. What unidentified serial killer repeatedly quoted scriptures as he killed? Was it A, Saint Penoris Pete, B, Saint Sicko, C, Bible John, or D, Jane Keel? Read the question again. What unidentified serial killer repeatedly quoted scripture as he killed? A, Penoris John, B, Saint Sicko, C, Bible John, or D, Keel? I think it's supposed to be Keel, but obviously it got water on the page so it ran. Do you think so, Diana Bowen? I don't know what that is. Keep going. I must prove my dominance. Ezekiel 25:17. When do you post the link? Dang, well, you could write a book. Jennifer? These are all my notebooks from just this year. I write everything out in paper. Then I take it and I transcribe it into my computer. And then I upload it to the cloud as I find the questions. These are not all trivia, like that one says research notes number 3, and there's number 1. But I write everything out in notebooks first, and then I upload it to I type it out and then I upload it to the cloud for and then I store it onto these terabyte hard drives. I download it, some version of it after I clean it up. I write everything out. Man, and I let go of the damn page. Well, the answer to that trivia question was, I think, C, Bible John. Here's a state trivia question for one that we never did. I have next to it, I have a little asterisk that says it's a variation of a question that's already been asked. But what 2 states in the United States of America, 2 states out of all of them, is it illegal to kill or trap Bigfoot? What 2 states is it illegal to kill or trap Bigfoot? Is it A, Washington or Mississippi? B, Washington and Oregon? C, California and Idaho? Or D, Idaho and Utah? What 2 states in the United States Is it illegal to trap or kill Bigfoot? Well, why do you save all our notes? Why do I save all our notes? I don't understand the question. Why do I save my notes? For like the cases that I'm doing? I mean, I don't write down what you guys say in the comment section. I don't save that. I take notes. I'm constantly. If you could see around here, I have hundreds of sticky notes. You know, everywhere. It's kind of looks really disorganized, but I take sticky notes and I transcribe them to paper as I'm actually doing the research, and then I get the. Then I take everything and I move them to files. These are case files for everything that I'm. These are just some of them. Obviously, I just grabbed these ones, but then I put them into files, the actual paper copy, and then I get the documents for every case. So inside the cases, it was my notes for trivia, and then and then I print out the documents for the actual information, and then I put it in this, and then some of it I save it to the cloud, in the thumb drive. It's just my crazy mind and how I save things and how I research. So a question comes to me, pop up in my head at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I have a bunch of these, little tiny notebooks like this, little spiral. So I save them. I have one next to my bedside, and I have a pen. If I think of something at 3 o'clock in the morning, I jot it down, and then I take my notes, and then I come in the morning, and I'm like, what the hell did I write? But I try to figure it out, and then I research it, and I look into it. If I can find the documentation for it, it might end up in eventually in a file. And then as I'm researching it and I find more information and more documents, it goes into the file. And then I write out my notes, what I'm thinking about it, what I'm talking, what I want to express. And then I write it out in long form. Then I type it out, and then I send it to the cloud, or I save it to one of the terabyte hard drives. These things, this I don't have numbered. I don't know how many terabytes this is, but I have them plugged in. I think that one's number 5. Oh, it's number 5 that no longer will work. And I just dropped it. There. Plug it back in. Sorry about the chiming. But I don't save notes from like what people do and what they say. I reuse all old papers for crafts. Bigfoot plays in my backyard. You can smell them once in a while. Because it's a ton of work that can look back on it. I feel like why would he throw away? Just my opinion. I can document everything. If I've ever made a video on YouTube, at all, I can look back on it, and I have the documentation in the file. So I have a paper file, and then I have the hard drive. What's saved in the cloud, or the memory. I don't call, what do you call those, memory sticks? I don't know what you call them. Terabyte hard disk, expanded memory. My daughter buys them for me. I don't know what their actually technical names are, but I save. So I have a digital copy, and I have a paper file on every video I've ever done, except for I do not have anything related to the Christopher Watts. I don't have those files anymore. I gave them away to somebody who was working on a book. But I can get them all back. And, well, the paper files. I have all the digital files saved. All right. So the next bonus question that I threw out there was, what two states is it illegal to hunt or trap, kill Bigfoot? And the answer is Washington and Oregon. B as in boy. It is illegal to hunt or trap Bigfoot in Washington and Oregon. And it's punishable up to 5 years in jail if you trap him, or you could be brought up for murder if you kill him. I noticed recently they released JKK info. Interesting. Bigfoot can smell you from miles away. That's why he's been not been found. Bigfoot is the hide and go seek world champion. JFK. Bigfoot is an alien. I don't know. When you look at it this way, Reichardt, human beings, we're the most destructive thing on Earth, and we're the most alien thing on Earth. I'm starving. It's time for dinner. Well, go eat, Mel. I'm going to wrap this up here in just a couple of minutes. Messed up. They picked 2 out of 3 in the most likely states that to happen. And well, it all depends on what you consider Bigfoot, Mr. Frosty, because there are several different variations of Bigfoot around the United States. Folklore goes back to the first recorded times before the Pilgrims ever landed on Plymouth Rock. There have been stories that have been shared about a hairy monster, creature, humanoid that lived in the forest. If you look at the indigenous tribes of the coastal line of Washington and California that used to reside in these places, they had stories of a shaman that would go into the forest and interact with this group of humanoids that were like Bigfoot, and they described them as overly hairy human beings. Could they have been an ancestry, an ancestor missing link between in the development of human beings that came over the land bridge from Siberia? We don't know. And a lot of people, guess are like, well, the Vikings were here first. Not really. The Vikings were here well before Christopher Columbus ever landed on in America. But there were other people who were here too. Bridge, through up by Alaska, down Canada into the States as well. Before we started arbitrarily drawing lines, invisible lines along the continent, and saying that's America, that's Canada, that's Mexico. People used to freely move. Para 710. I don't believe in Bigfoot. Don't hate me. Sad. You believe in what you want, Samantha. Don't believe in what you want. I mean, I can't prove that he's not real. I can't prove that he is real. I can't prove that the Loch Ness monster is real, or that UFOs aren't real, or that any of that is real. I just know that in my own little bubble world here, if an alien ship lands in my backyard, I'm going to believe in aliens. Or if I get abducted by aliens and I get anally probed by them, I'll probably believe in them then. But I've seen things that I can't explain, and nobody's ever been able to explain to me. if things are flying in in the night sky. I listened to Mark Shaw regarding the JFK, and he's very interesting. I have never heard of Mark Shaw. Sal, Gemma, hit it. You are up late. Gemma, you should be asleep because it's like 7 o'clock here. Wow. But okay, sweetheart, thank you for joining us for a little bit here. I'm about to wrap this up. Loch Ness Monster was proven to be a toy submarine purchased from Woolworths. Was it? How do they Samantha? My question would be, how do they explain the sightings of the Loch Ness monster, in the 17 and 1600s? How do they, explain some of the sightings from then? I mean, just because the photograph that that people say is Nessie isn't true, isn't real. I mean, but there's before, you have to think about, okay, here's the timeline when we had modern photography. Yeah, sure, things have been fake, but what about the folklore and and what people were talking about beforehand? Did they just make that up to scare, others? Why would you need to do that? Why would you go out of your way to be ridiculed in your small village, or by your, community for seeing something? I mean, I'm not, to each their own. I don't know if it's real. I know that there are a lot of people out there that do horrific things to others in society. And I spend my day reading about these sickos. So, well, Loch Ness Monster is in Oklahoma. Oklahoma? Have you ever heard knock knock when you're out in the woods? No, I've never heard knock knock when I'm out in the woods. Spent a lot of time deer hunting and elk hunting in my lifetime. I've never seen Loch Ness Monster, I mean, or a Bigfoot or anything like that. Now, I have seen some crazy shit, excuse my language, that bears have done in the woods. I've seen an actual bear get up on its hind legs and walk like 10 or 12 feet on its hind legs, just like a human being. And it was just like sitting up in a deer stand watching that happen. Well, first off, you don't want the bear to find out you're there. They have a tendency to get really mad. I bought a 32-piece Christmas dinnerware set at Woolworths 40 years ago, and you still use it. Wow, that is cool. I have a picture of me and my father sitting at a Woolworths counter. Woolworths, used to be able to sit at the counter and eat, and had a sign on the wall that said whites only. No shit. I have a picture of that in our photo album. Well, I didn't notice it then. Nobody did until like way later. I think it was in the early 70s when the picture was taken. But it wasn't to prove that the sign on the wall was there. It was just a picture that somebody else in the family took with a new camera. I think that they bought at Woolworths or someplace. But I miss Woolworths. The Woolworth lunch counters. But at least in my area, they were always someplace where you could get something to eat, in a mall or wherever they were. What city? It was in Chicago, I think, or someplace near Chicago. 'Cause I'm originally from Wisconsin. I didn't move out here to Washington State until I think it was 79, 80. No, it had to be later than that. 82. I think it was 82 when we moved here, because we moved here. We lived here a couple of years, then we moved back. Then we moved from there. Then we moved back. We just kept on moving back and forth. Um, yeah. Well, my mom is she's nuts, but I used to take my daughter there to get fries all the time when she was little. I kept a plastic carrier bag for now. Aliens believe in aliens, absolutely. What's his name? Astrophys Astro? He's a YouTube creator. He is 1,000% convinced that aliens are real. I used to watch his content until he went off his rocker. He went down the deep dark rabbit hole way too far, and there was no pulling him back up to reality. When I was a child, my family and I were out camping, and we were asleep, and my mother would always wake us up very early, and she said there was a bear just outside our cabin, and she threw hot water at the bear. What? Ooh, that's a good way to piss him off. Well, Rykart, you didn't get eaten, so there's that. Mom and I used to eat at the counter at Woolworths. Good times. Your first job was at a Woolworths food counter. That is super cool, Purple. I have fond memories of eating at places like Woolworths. With my father when I was just a little kid. But we used to, he used to make road trips all the time. He'd find out that they were tearing down an old barn or something, through the grapevine. I don't know how the hell he ever found them out, way before the internet. But he'd find out about these barns being torn down. And my father was a master carpenter, so for a lot of years he was making like church pews. There's a church back home that all the pews and all the ornate background behind the altar and where the orchestra sits. My father built all of it in this church. But he'd find out about old growth timbers being in a barn being taken down. So my mom would pack us a lunch and we'd go off to try to harvest all this wood. I mean, I couldn't do much, but I watched my dad and his friends tear things down and harvest lumber. So, but we'd go to Chicago. Um, Sometimes we go up by the past Milwaukee, up towards the Great Lakes up that way, and we go as far north as International Falls in Minnesota, and a couple of times we went to Ohio, Iowa overnight. So great memories. One of my friends, Danielle Hines, went missing. She was murdered, and her body was disposed of in rubbish bin, Alsdale, South Australia. I'm sorry about that, Samantha. There was a hot Sam across from it. Like a Sambo's? That's a good question, Mel. Why do humans have to discover and disclose every mystery in nature? It's a good question. I mean, we know more about what's out there in outer space and the astrological, the Milky Way and stuff like that. We know more about that than we do what's on the bottom of our own ocean here on our planet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you again, everybody, for stopping and playing trivia tonight with me. I hope you had fun. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Again, in the comment section after the video, not here inside, but underneath the video, If you have an idea for something you'd like to see, on trivia, maybe a particular murder case, whatever it might be. I take suggestions all the time for different cases, in different types of trivia. If you have an idea, drop it down below. You know, fire me an email. You can go to About Me on YouTube, and you click it and tell YouTube you're not a robot. It'll give you my email address. Shoot me an email. But thank you again, everybody, and I hope everyone has a terrific weekend and a safe week ahead. Quickly before I wrap this up, the next trivia is the 23rd. Then we'll have trivia on the 30th, and then that'll be it for this year. So the 30th is the last one. We will have a Saturday morning chat on the 24th, but nothing on the 31st, which is New Year's Eve. I will not be home or even around on the 31st. So see you again for trivia on the 23rd. Good night.